Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Stephanie. If you're new here, thanks for hanging out with us today. If you've been with us before, thanks for coming back for more. I'm in the kitchen right now, but we didn't start out in the kitchen today. Dad and I actually went down to the next county over. There's a big greenhouse over there that I really enjoy. And we went over there. We did find some things. So I will put that footage in now, and then I'll bring you back and we're gonna hang out in the kitchen for a little bit longer today. I need to look at our banana tree. Is it our banana grove coming back?
Little hanging basket.
Did you whack your head?
No, I found it. I usually head for everything. Small like that. Huh. Those kind of look like the Rose of Sharon.
Yeah, they do. That's pretty. I like this curly grass. This is the second greenhouse that has more veggies, but still some flowers too. It's hard to resist more tomatoes. I want those. I want bell peppers, but there's no point in me in us planting them because they don't do well.
Yeah, we're getting there.
I might get a pack.
Hopefully next year's soil. You try to find some lumber I can afford to put up, make a couple of raised beds.
Yeah.
They'll really do much better.
I think I'm gonna grab some jalapenos. I'm just gonna do.
Here. Let me pack them for you.
Okay, thank you. Ooh, what's that? Okay, let's see what else we need. This is a sensitive topic, but do you think that we should get a pack of Cherokee purple tomatoes? Like just a 4-pack. Do we have any purples?
I think I do.
Okay.
But it's just only 1 or 2.
Then I'll probably get a pack of those. These ferns are pretty.
What is that?
It's some kind of a fern.
Cool.
Okay, I'm gonna shop. We got all the way out of the car, like we were pulling out, and we didn't see this whole section over here. So we've come back to look at. We need some shrubs. Thought I would show you guys what we wound up getting from the greenhouse today. So we got some jalapenos. I just got a 4-pack. I do still have some in the freezer from last year, which would probably be enough to make the cowboy candy that I need, but I have 4 more just to be safe. Then we got a 4-pack of these Cherokee purple tomatoes. Again, it's not really something that we need, but this is one of my favorite varieties. I love it, so we didn't have any that grew. We got this celosia that's just real pretty. We kind of were, Dad was looking for some filler items. And I also picked up this really pretty dahlia. They had some that were blooming there, and they were really, really gorgeous. So I got one of those. I have another one out front by the front of the house that grows that's really pretty. It's the Cafe au Lait color. We also got some begonias. I like these darker leaves. I think that's going to be a really pretty contrast color in there. And then this basil. This was called Try Basil, and it is this purple and green. I've never bought this before, but I mean, I can't smell. Oh, I'm sorry, my finger is right there. I can't smell basil and not like automatically start drooling. So we got that. I needed some basil anyway. And then we got this really gorgeous hanging pot. We got that for Mom. I don't know what it is, but if I remember, I'm going to try to save some seeds from this so that we can maybe start some next year. I think that's really pretty. This is what I'm super excited about. We got a peach tree. This is an Alberta, and we were Googling it while we were there, and it's a dwarf variety. Evidently, it's also it's also an heirloom, but evidently it's one of the most popular for like hobby farmers. So I'm super excited about this peach tree. Oh my goodness, if we get peaches next year, I'm going to be over the moon. But that was really exciting. We also went to a Mennonite store, and I got a few things there. Not literally, I got like 3 things. I'll show you guys what I got. But I thought, while we're here, we might as well look at this beautiful thing. I need to move some carrots around. I need to thin some of these out. Look how good these look, you guys. I'm so excited. And these peas are looking so lovely. I'm going to have peas before we know it. Look right here. Can you see this? That is a pea pod. That's what this is. Oh my gosh, you guys. I'm so excited. This pea plant is super healthy. That looks really good. This one's looking great. I'm not going to have like a ton of peas, but yeah, I'm real tickled. I'm just tickled to death with how well this is looking. I'm filming this on my phone, so it's probably not as smooth as the other camera. But I'm going to take you over and just, we'll look at the other one real quick and see what it looks like. This celosia, yeah, coleus is looking really good. It's so pretty. Just that pop of color when you stand back. Just that pop of color makes such a big difference in this thing. I wish the marigolds were blooming a little bit more than they are. But, c'est la vie. I know that I desperately need to thin these carrots out. Well, they're not as bunched up as I thought. But anyway, I'm just so pleased with how well they're doing. I have 3 really good carrots in this pocket. We're not getting enough to preserve to put up for, you know, the whole year or anything, but the celery looks good too. Again, I need to thin this out, but I think I am going to let it grow a bit more before I do that. Got about, what there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 carrots. 7 carrots in this pocket. That might be pushing it a little bit much, but I've got 3 up there. This cabbage is looking great. And then this is our nasturtium. So I'm pleased with all of this. Then our strawberries. I only have 1 strawberry that is not doing anything. That is this one. We were kind of holding out hope that maybe it would perk up, but it has not. There was one up here that was also looking pretty sad, but you can see that it's got some green on it now. So maybe that one's going to do all right. Speaking of strawberries, we didn't get to go to the strawberry festival today because the weather's iffy. Kristen wasn't feeling good. Her husband was super sick. So I bought strawberries at the Amish store, and I'll show you those when I show you everything else. But I'm real pleased with how good these green stalks are doing. I know I can't shut up about them. I thought I would show you this. Mom found these flower pots a couple years ago that fit over the rails. And I think I'm going to put, I got some parsley yesterday. I think I'm going to put the parsley in this one. And I'm going to put this basil that I bought. Where is it? Here we go. I'm going to put the basil in this one. And that way they'll be right outside the door when I want to come and grab some herbs. I also am going to stick this basil herb rocket in this one just to maybe stagger it. I don't know if this is going to grow or not, but look, Dad is out there already getting that tree in the ground. He already has a hole dug and everything, so things are happening. Sorry, I know the air conditioner's on, so that's probably obnoxious, but I just wanted to show you guys the root system on this thing. Also, this makes total sense. I wasn't thinking about it when I was digging this out, but look, I used our new dibbler tool. Hang on. Sorry, I had to sneeze. I used our new dibbler tool to kind of fluff. This is old dirt. I'll put some amendments in here to kind of freshen this up, but I'm going to put this basil on this side, and I'll plant that other rocket on the other side. Yeah, the herb rocket, that's what it's called. On this, I don't know, I think I can probably split this into two. This parsley, I think I can split that, so we're gonna try it and see. I'll show you guys what it looks like once we're done. I'm real happy with the way these turned out. This parsley, I just bought it at the grocery. It was like $2 for just a bundle of parsley to cook with, or $4 to buy the whole plant. So I bought the whole plant. That's usually what I do when it's springtime and I need herbs. I'll just buy the whole plant. But that split really easily. It was pretty root bound, but I think it's going to bounce back pretty quickly. And then our basil, I thought I had used one of those herb rockets before, but I don't think I had. When I opened that thing, it did not look like what I expected or thought it was. So I think I just dreamed that. But anyway, so now we have some kitchen herbs right here on the back porch, which is so lovely. That's one of my favorite things. You guys, I keep saying it, just to be able to walk outside and pick what I need. And let's zoom in over here. Farmer Ted's out here watering the peach tree. I'm excited about that peach tree. He wants to cut down. Ooh, that was a little too far. He wants to cut down that plum tree that he's walking by right now. It's kind of scraggly and always puts off a lot of shoots. I like it. The fruit on it is real tasty if you can beat the birds to it, but I think he's about tired of fighting with it. So that's going to go, but we got this little peach tree here. So yeah, things are looking good. So that's been a lot of fun getting those plants, getting everything, well, not everything, but getting a few things planted up. It's real muggy today. It's not kind of muggy, it's real muggy outside today, so it's kind of short bursts in and out right now. What I'm gonna do next is I have a small canning project, just a real little one. I thought I would get that done real quick, and we'll see where we are with time. That might be all we do today in this video, but of course I have more things to do. Before I can get my canning set up over here, I have to get this dehydrator emptied. Oh, I was also going to show you guys everything that I bought at the Amish store, and I will absolutely, or Mennonite store, I'm sorry. I will absolutely do that once we get this canner emptied out. I'll kind of set up the couple tiny things that I bought over here. But I did a pineapple the other day. I've never done one of those before, and I can't stop eating it. I didn't do these until they crunch, until they break, like snap, but these are addictive. I cut these in not super thin slices, but you can see how thin they really are. They're so good. They're really delicious. I'm gonna get these put into this bowl, and I'm not gonna worry about conditioning these or anything because these are really just a snack on. I'm gonna get these boxed up here, And if there's any left, if I don't eat them all, I'll show you how many we got out of it. This is not quite 1.5. There was one small pineapple and then a little bit of a second pineapple to fill up the trays. So I'll bring you back once I've got this done and got this dehydrator out of the way. Alright guys, so this is what we got out of that pineapple. I'm probably going to keep this in the fridge right now just because, like I mentioned, it is real hot. It's real muggy outside. I don't want these to ruin before I eat them, although I am eating them at an alarming rate. I'll just sit those anywhere. It's fine. So from the Mennonite store, I got a couple of things that I needed. I was running low on this coconut oil, popcorn oil. I like to buy popping corn, and then I have a big popcorn popper, but sometimes for just at night, I use a Pampered Chef popping corn bowl that you just microwave. It works great, but I've started using this coconut oil, and I really, really love it. So a friend of mine just had a birthday, and his fiance and I have been friends for years and years and years, and we love going to the drive-in movies. That was one of the things, we did it a lot the last couple summers. We've just really, really enjoyed it. And the drive-in movie, the next county over, it's closed down. So now we are just bereft. We have no drive-in movie anymore. We're all very sad about this. So when it was Scott's birthday, his fiance, my friend Michelle, she got him a big projector screen and like the projector and the screen, sorry. And then I got him a popcorn maker like mine. It's one of the Dash ones that it's like, I don't know, yay big. And the dome lid doubles as the bowl, what you pop it and you flip it over. So I got him some oil for popping, like butter flavored oil, and I got him some cheddar cheese to sprinkle on top. But I didn't get him a jar of this because I wasn't able to get down to the store, and they don't sell this at the regular grocery. So this was $4.79. This was money well spent because I want him to have great popcorn. But yeah, that's our plan, is this summer we're going to have drive-in night at their house. And it's going to be a lot more comfortable. The bathrooms are going to be cleaner. And if we need to go inside for the air conditioning, or if it starts raining, we're not going to have to sit inside a muggy car just breathing on each other. Not that that's ever happened to us. I also got some granulated garlic. I was just out of this. All I had was just a tiny bit. I thought I had it out. I had a tiny bit left over that was just a store-bought from Walmart, but I do like this. I prefer this. I'll fill up this spice container with it. Whatever doesn't fit will just hang out in the pantry shelf until we are ready for it. But granulated garlic, it was $4.87 for this thing, and this was 0.39 pounds, so I don't know, it seems like a good value to me. This is what I was after. We didn't get to go to the Strawberry Festival today because I mentioned my friend Kristen. She was feeling puny at the beginning of the week. Her husband's got it now. He's feeling terrible. I don't want their funk. I don't want their germs. So I got strawberries at the Mennonite store. My plan for Mother's Day is to make a lemon cake and like a strawberry compote or jam to go with it. Have I ever done that? Absolutely not. But I also haven't made a lemon cake from scratch, and we're going to do that too. So I think it's going to all work out beautifully. I'm going to get these soaking. I'm going to put in a little bit of vinegar in the water, let that soak, let all the creepy crawlies that might be in there off. I've already eaten 2 without washing them. I had to taste test them. They're very good. So I'm going to get that started, and then we're going to get canning. I'll bring you guys back when we're ready to can. Alright, so what we've got set up here is I have 2 cuts of meat. I got this roast. This was 2.5 pounds, but you can kind of see this marbling in here. I might cut some of that out because we don't want a ton of that fat in there. And then just to kind of make up for it, this was a boneless chuck roast. This one is a top round steak boneless. These aren't the best cut of steak. You can use them if you need to. Also, if you cook things like this in the pressure cooker, it is going to be much more tender. We talked about that with those meals in a jar that we've done. So I got this on sale for $3.60. This is half a pound. I just got it in case we lose we lose too much of this to fill up the jar. I want to make sure that I get full jars. I'm hoping to get 3 jars out of this, 3 pint jars. If I don't, I have this half pint jar just in case. And also I found my actual canning funnel, my real one. So I have that. I am going to, this is almost exactly like what I did when I lost the footage of the video. I cooked some chicken and then I didn't have enough to fill up the canner, so I also did black beans. Now with those black beans, we go through a lot. I go through a lot of black beans. I put them in, you guys have seen me put them in jambalaya, pasta salad. I like them in my taco soup. I like a lot of black beans. So I use a couple jars a month. So this time I don't really need black beans. I'm gonna do a white bean in here just to fill up space, just to fill up this canner. Now the last time that I did this that you guys didn't see, I did a lot more chicken. I did 1 stack of chicken and then 1 stack of beans. I'm not gonna do that many. I'm probably just gonna do 1 level today. So I'll show you guys. We're gonna get this beef cut up. I'll bring you down so that you can see that and watch us getting it jarred up. And then, yeah, we'll be making things happen. Hang on. All right, so I put an apron on because I'm trying to be better about not ruining all my clothes. Also, if I step back and you guys see a fruit box that's been sitting there forever, that's because if I step back, you can see there's a dog bed in it. There's also some stuff. That sign isn't in the yard sale, but we are going to have a yard sale, so we've got some yard sale stuff piled up there. But while we were unpacking groceries from Sam's, one of the dogs just crawled in that box and loved it for a bed. So Mom just stuck a dog bed in there, and they hang out there all the time. It's hilarious. So just in case you wonder like why that box is in all the videos that you see, that's why. I did move this time. I did move our bag of other bags. Sometimes I think it has made an appearance. We had, you know, a grocery bag full of other grocery bags like every Southern house does. And those, like I said, kind of made an appearance in a couple of these videos too. So, because tomorrow is Mother's Day, I don't want to take up a ton of space. My brother's going to come over. We're going to have a nice lunch, dinner, late lunch, early dinner kind of a thing. And I don't want to take up counter space with canned goods where I've been canning a bunch. So that's why I'm not doing a large batch today. I think I need to sharpen my knife. Give me just a minute. Let me sharpen this knife because I'm not going to be hacking away at this thing like that this whole time. Okay, we've been washed, sharpened, and washed again. So I thought that laying this real thin cutting board over top of this was going to be, that's much better, was going to be the way to go, but it does wiggle around quite a bit on this wooden cutting board. I got this wooden cutting board out because I just like to set the jars on it once I take them out of the canner. But this is a huge chunk of fat that's running through this, so that's not going to go into the jars. I don't mind some fat because it's flavorful, but that's too much. So I'm just going to get this trimmed up. We'll start getting it in jars. And this is pretty easy to do. I forget what I have and haven't told you guys on this kind of stuff. Like this much fat, I'm not worried about that much fat. I keep thinking there's something on my fingernail. It's that strawberry. I don't know if it's focusing. Nope. It's okay, there it goes. Anyway, but I keep thinking that there's something on my finger. I'm gonna get my chopstick so I can kind of, you know, even this out. First of all, do you know how hard it is to get a chopstick out of a package and break it with just one hand? This is silly. I was trying not to touch it with this hand because I touched the meat and I didn't wash my hands. But anyway, it's about time to go back to get Chinese food and get a bunch more chopsticks. This fat that I'm cutting off, this is not going to go to waste. This will go to the dogs. We have I know I've mentioned before, for the big dogs outside. We have great balls of fire. We have a crock pot outside that we usually keep going with some food that's good for them, that we're not going to eat. It's usually leftovers that they have. So the rule of thumb with pints is that you get roughly 1 pound of meat per pint. I think that's a little bit less now, because the powers that be have said, they used to say you could pack your jar really, this is a really fatty piece. They used to say that you could really pack your jar tightly, and now they say don't do that. I'm not mashing this down in there, but I am getting it to fit snug. I haven't had any issues with this, with doing it that way. Gracious, that's an awkward piece to cut too. But anyway, so that's the general rule when you're working with meat and you're canning it. It's 1 pound of meat per pint jar. So in a quart jar, you would get about 2 pounds of meat, and that'll let you decide how much you need for your family. Honestly, this is half and half. I'm putting it in there. I might regret that choice, but, and I think I'm cutting these too small because I'm sitting here running my mouth. But anyway, we had made some beef stew. Actually, I had made a roast, and it was delicious. After I made the roast, I wanted to make soup with it. I'm filling these to 1-inch headspace, just so you're aware with beef, 1-inch headspace. But anyway, so we had made a roast, and it wasn't a big roast, because in all reality, I just like the meat flavored vegetables more than the meat when I'm eating a roast. I like the way those potatoes and carrots taste once they've been cooked like that all day in that meat. But yeah, this is going good. I made soup out of it the next day, and I didn't think there was enough meat still left in there. I wanted it to have more. And I had a couple of jars of, I'm gonna come back to those too. I had a couple of jars of meat, of beef that I had put up, and I was able to grab one of those jars, stick it in the soup, and it was delicious. I put it back in the crock pot, and I let it, you know, I freshened it up with some new veggies and things. It was so delicious. So I just say that as a way to know how to use this. In the soup, it was fantastic. That's genuinely why I'm putting this back on the shelf. I only had a couple of jars of it, and I don't know, I think I only have 1 jar left. So I wanted to have some more of this. It was very good, and it was really tasty in that soup. I'm working on the 3rd jar now. That's exciting. You could also make like a beef pot pie. That's really what I expected I was going to make with it, because I love those. I make those a lot, honestly. But I really thought that's what I was going to use it for more than anything else. So I was happy to have something else to try it in. That soup, it worked great. I've got the kettle on boiling. I don't need it for this. What we're doing right now with this meat is raw packing, and you don't have to heat your jars. You don't have to do any of that good stuff. Oh, guys, this is going to work out so great. I am going to use this little piece of meat here to top these off. Oh, and I've got these that I can get some use out of. I just didn't fight with those right then. With, when you're doing meat like this, if you keep it in bigger chunks, it's obviously going to stay in that size chunk when you cook it. It's going to just result in a bigger piece. If you cut it in real small bite-sized pieces, it's going to shred more. And that's fine. Just keep that in mind for what you're using it for. Make sure it's going to work for that application. What I found the last time that I did this meat was that as it cooked in this jar, it really drew up. So when it came out of the canner, like, the meat was down to about this level. And that's okay. I think I am going to try to fill up this little jar. Let's see. It might not work. But if we've got it here, we might as well use it. Yeah, this is going to be great. The other good thing about doing this type of meat is that you can use a less expensive, I've already said that, sorry, just ignore me and my repetitiveness. But yeah, basically it turns every little jar into a tiny pressure cooker. So you really do get a nice bite, even with a less expensive cut of meat. And honestly, even the cheap beef is so expensive right now. It's crazy. I'm going to finish getting this one up. What we're going to do, because I am raw packing this, you want the water in your canner to be around the same temperature as your jars and the ingredients in your jar. This worked out so perfect. I'm so excited. I got 3 pints and 1/2 pint. I'm going to put these in the canner. Hang on a sec. Okay, so I'm going to put these jars, ta-da, in the canner. The canner has 3 liters of water in it, a splash of vinegar, and I'm going to just put these jars in. I'm going to wipe the rims with some vinegar, get the lids on, get the rims on, fingertip tight. I'm going to get those in the canner, and then I'm going to turn the water on, and I'm going to put my other jars that I'm going to do the beans. I'm going to put those in there to let those warm up. I'll let that sit while I clean up this mess, and then I'll start doing the beans. When I do the beans, those jars are already going to be warm, so that's going to work in my favor. I'm going to add beans and hot water. I have a kettle on. You might have heard it a minute ago, but I've got the kettle on. I'm going to put hot water in with those beans. That's all you have to do. They're just dried beans that I bought at the store. I'm going to put those in with the meat, pressure can that for 90 minutes. But what I'll do, like I said, I'm going to get these jars in the canner, turn it on, get the other jars in, let it start warming up to warm those jars while I clean up. Then I'll bring you guys back when we're ready to do the beans. Okay, new plan, because it's what we do. We pivot, right? My gosh, the humidity in my hair, it's like nappy, like 6-month-old perm kind of funky hair. That's my natural hair texture. So when it gets humid outside, it's like, it just gets real exciting and attractive looking. So I was gonna do these white beans, and excuse me, I'm sorry. I had already decided that I was gonna use more jars than what I intended to, because it was gonna get those white beans off the shelf. I rinsed those, and I just left the water soaking on them while I went to go grab some extra jars to do all of them. I needed 7 jars and I only had 4 out. And anyway, they didn't look great when I went to get them. I didn't like the looks of like the skin on them. But now, full disclosure, those were some old beans. I had them in a food saver bag, and it evidently had a leak, so some air got in there. Anyway, they didn't look great. I didn't want to use them. I might cook them up to put on the dog's crock pot. Maybe I'll throw that those beef remnants that I had. They would probably enjoy that really good. And anyway, it's good protein. I don't want to just chuck them, so I'll cook them up and do something with them. But anyway, so we're regrouping. We're going with pinto beans. I got these at, y'all know where I got these. I got them at the Dollar Tree. This is 1 pound of pinto beans. So I'm gonna wash these, and yeah, we just had to pivot a little bit. Yeah, I'll be right back. So historically, I thought that I didn't even like pinto beans, but it turns out I do. ooh, I better get a funnel. Hold, please. Okay, sorry. We're back to Grandma's funnel because that old meat one is going to be washed. So what I was saying is, I didn't think I liked pinto beans, but I was out of black beans, and I don't remember what I put them in. Maybe it was like a burrito bowl or something, and I was like, oh, turns out I do like these. I just didn't think I did. I'm not saying I want to sit down and eat, you know, a whole plate full of them, but yeah, to just sit down and have some, it wasn't bad. These jars have all been heated. Let me get one more out of the canner. You guys can enjoy the view of that janky dog bed. Right. So with these beans, I learned this method from that 1870s homestead where she just, great lands, I'm trying to knock everything over. Yeah, she did this method and I thought it was so easy. And you can flavor them. You can put in some seasoning if you want to. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to do that in these pinto beans or not. I think I might make up a quick little kind of Mexican flavor blend. I just have a couple of beans left. I'm going to kind of divide that among these and we're done. I don't know. Should I do that or should I just go with water? I got 5 jars here. I don't know. I think I'll just do them plain and that way I can season them later. Let me grab my kettle. I don't think I'll be able to do all 5 jars with one kettle full, but we'll see. Just so you guys can see how long this really takes, I'm going to try to remember to show you what time it is when I'm done, when I take these out of the canner. Right now it's 12:59, it's almost 1 in the afternoon. I have just put this on. It's not even up to a boil yet. So I'll show you what time it is if I remember. I'll show you what time it is when we're taking things out of the canner because we do have to go through that whole cooling down process. All I'm going to do now is kind of clean up my mess, and then I'm hopefully going to just veg out. I have a half a sandwich that I got. I bought a sandwich at the Mennonite store. I've eaten half of it. I want to eat the other half. I'm hungry, and I really just want to rest and be a bum. So I'll bring you guys back when we're done with this. You can see that it is 1:26. We just got done building up steam so I can put the weighted gauge on, and we are just starting to build pressure. We're sitting here at just about 1 pound of pressure so far. So it has taken nearly half an hour just to get that far in the process. All right, we are back. We just got all of our jars out of the canner. When we started it, it was just a couple minutes before 1 o'clock, and it is now just about 1 minute until 4. So it took us about 3 hours from start to finish on this whole project. Well, it didn't take long to cut that meat up and to put these beans in. That was maybe 15 minutes. Probably less time if you're not yapping the whole time. But anyway, I was able to get 5 jars of our pinto beans, and I was able to get 4 of our beef. You can see all the liquid that has, let me flip you around here and I'll show you these jars, what they look like as far as the liquid level. If I had just been a little bit faster, you guys would have heard one of those seals popping. It's the best sound after you sat here and you've put all this time in and you've waited for the canner to cool down and all that stuff, and then you start hearing the seals pop. But what I wanted to show you was on the beef. You know how full these jars were when we started out? You can see how much that water level has come, or that meat level has come down. These are screaming hot. You can see that these are boiling. But you can see how much the meat has drawn up on there. And you can also see how much liquid. We didn't add any liquid to these jars. These were raw packed. So we didn't add any liquid to these. This is just what was from the beef itself. There was one, I don't know if you heard it. So anyway, that is, that's going to be great. I'm going to let these cool overnight and try to get these washed up and put away tomorrow. Anytime that you do a meat product, it's going to there's always just a little bit that kind of siphons out while you're canning these. So these jars, I'm not touching it, goodness. These jars will be a little bit greasy feeling, so we're going to wash those off. I'll just use some warm soapy water, and then I'll get those on the shelf, and that's going to be quite a bit more food that we have ready to go. So what I like about this whole thing is that we're taking food that's not super convenient to prepare. We've taken a few hours out of our day and we've made convenience foods out of something that's not traditionally convenient. Now I have very tender, yummy beef that is ready to go. I don't have to remember to thaw this out. I don't have to let it cook all day in the crock pot. I don't have to do any of those things. It's convenient on the shelf. That's what's most appealing to me about canning these items, is just that it's better quality than the canned meat that you buy at the store. We've really enjoyed all the canned chicken and pork that I've done, and this meat seems to be no exception. So that's fantastic. Like I said, it's just taking an item that's not traditionally a convenience item, and now it is. I could take this to work for a sandwich. I can make quick soup out of it. I can do whatever, but it's here, it's ready to go and ready to use. We don't have to thaw it, we don't have to cook it. It's good to go. So anyway, if you've enjoyed this, please leave me a thumbs up, leave me like a heart or a cow down in the comments. I would love that so much. As always, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to be here with us. And if you like this video or you think you know somebody else that might enjoy this content, please feel free to share it with them. It really helps me out on YouTube when you like and comment and subscribe down below. And if you have any questions, please leave that in the comment box. I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have. If I don't know the answer, I'll try to get you to the right resource to answer that for you. Thanks so much. Have a great weekend. We are going to be back tomorrow for Mother's Day. I'm actually probably going to start prepping a lot of that tonight. So anyway, have a great one, and I will see y'all next time. Have a good day.